Welcome to the Transformational Soul Show with your host, Ruth Soltman. Are you ready to experience more stability in your life? You can change your life and be who you are meant to be, your authentic self.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Transformational Soul. My name is Ruth Soltman, and I want to welcome you tonight. Welcome if you are watching on Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. We are now live on Twitter as well. So exciting. Even, getting our shows out there to more and more people all the time. And I want to thank you all for being here. I really appreciate you. Please hit the like, the thumbs up, retweet if you're on Twitter. We greatly appreciate that. It really helps to get our show out there to more and more people. Hello, Robert. Hello, Destiny. Nice to see you here tonight. And please say hello if you're watching, because I'd love to hear from you. If you don't make a comment, I don't really know, that you're here. So that always works out really well. Even if you just say hi, that would be fantastic. Please check out my website, ruthsoltman.com. It's RUTH, S as in Sam, OL, T as in Tom, M as in Mary, A, N as in Nancy.com. Now, if you go on my website, you can get information on all of my books, my oracle cards, and the services that I offer. And it made it really easy when you go on there. If you want to order something, all you have to do is click the link. And with the books, there's a couple different ways that you can order those. And with the oracle cards, you just go right directly to the site that prints them. And then once you place your order, they will send them right to you. Please join us this Saturday, March 25th at 8 p.m. for the Spiritual Message Circle. If you haven't joined us for that before, it's so much fun. There's a panel of the show hosts that are on there. And for a small donation of only $20 or more, you will get a message from each person that is on the panel that night. It's always a lot of fun. And even if you come and just watch, you're still going to get a message that's really going to resonate with you. Hello, Sarah. Nice to see you here. Please come and join our Goldylocks Productions group on Telegram. There's so much amazing energy over there, information. It's just such an uplifting group. Goldylocks also has an online store where you can purchase some awesome merchandise. And check that out, because you've got some new designs in the last couple of months, and you probably haven't seen those yet. And also don't forget to check out Goldylocks Productions. Oracle cards, Energize, and I'm going to show you, if you don't know, what they look like. They come in this beautiful tin, and these are the cards. And what we did was all of us show hosts got together and wrote the sayings and the quotes that are on them. Tiffany got all of the symbols together, and she put everything together. And they're just absolutely amazing, amazing cards. And yes, the Goldylocks merchandise store has a 20% off sale right now. Today's the last day. So if you were wanting to save a little money, get on there and place your order tonight. Hello, Melissa. Nice to see you here. You can also become a Goldylocks Productions VIP. Now, there's different membership levels and different perks for each of those. Hello, Joyce. Nice to see you. You can do that through Patreon or YouTube. And we do have a special VIP show twice a month. And if you're thinking about sponsoring one of the Goldylocks production shows, what will happen is Tiffany will make up like a little commercial for you, and it'll play about midway through whatever show you're sponsoring. And if you have a small business, or you're just getting started with one, or you're having a sale, it's a great way to get your information out there. Hello, Nancy. Now, it is not required, but if you would like, you can give a tip or donation, and you can do that via my Venmo, Super Chat or Super Sticker on YouTube, or Rumble Rant on Rumble. And Robert, I would like to thank you for your super sticker. I really appreciate that. Let me just double check. I thought, yep. Thank you so much for that, Robert. You know, the tips and donations that you give every week really helps to pay for the production cost of the show. So, you know, it's very greatly appreciated. If you do make a donation of $5 or more, then you're going to move to the front of the line when we do messages and get a little bit longer message. Thank you to all of you who like and support my show. Thank you for sharing it, sharing my posts, sharing my videos. I'm very, very grateful for you. Hello, Devin. Nice to see you here. So I do have a couple of local events coming up that I want to touch on. One is in April and one is in May. Now, April 1st, I'm going to be in Magnolia, Texas at the Homeopathic Metaphysical Craft Spring Fling Fair. And that will be from 10 to 4. It's on a Saturday, April 1st. And I will have my books with me. I have some handmade bookmarks that I made as well. I'll have those. I will be doing readings, and I'll have a few other items that I've made that will be available for purchase. And then on the 13th, I will be in Spring, Texas at Copperfield's Bookshop from 11 to 4 for the 2023 Indie Author Fair. So I will have my books and all of that there, but I won't be doing readings at that event. That is strictly an author event. So it's still manifesting March, and spring has sprung this week. It's we've seen the beginning of Aries, and we are still in the new moon energy. So it's all about new beginnings, new growth, rebirth, and manifesting. So continue to put out your intentions. Continue to clear away any blocks you have that is keeping you from the abundance that is wanting to come to you. Because if we have any blocks, it's going to interfere with all of that good coming to you. So you want to make sure you clear that away. Continue to heal your past issues and let that stuff go. Lighten your load a bit. Don't carry around all that heaviness. And continue to absorb all of the amazing energy that has been coming at us in waves. Harness that energy, integrate it into your own, and use it to help you manifest. The more energy that you put out there, the more energy you're going to get back. Everything that you are planting now, all these seeds that we're planting now, you're going to be reaping in abundant April. Sow those seeds now that you want to harvest in the near future, because this is the time to manifest. I would love it. I know we've been talking about this manifesting for a little while now, and I would love it if you would like to share what you're working on. You could just drop that in the comments. I have been working on manifesting more viewers and listeners on my show. And last week, my show had more than 400 views. And that is the most I've ever had on any one show. So the manifesting is working, and it's working very quickly. So keep that in mind. Don't have any doubts about what you desire or what you're trying to manifest. So a couple of weeks ago, I got on Facebook, and I saw that one of my Facebook friends had transitioned. I didn't know her well, but we had chatted a few times. And from the sounds of it, it was something very sudden. And, you know, I saw her profile picture all the time, and I thought, I wonder, you know, how old she was, because she didn't look very old. And so I looked at her profile to see her age, and she was born the same year as me. So, you know, that kind of hit me really hard. And when anyone, you know, passes that's around my age, it always does, because it's kind of that slap in the face reminding us that we're not going to be on this earth forever, that in a split second, we could be gone. Our physical bodies have an expiration date, right? And we don't usually know when that is, but it's an important reminder to live every day to the fullest. Don't put things off because there might not be a future time to do it. Live in the moment. It is so important to live in the moment because you don't want to miss anything. Be present now. Now, tomorrow is also the anniversary of my mom's transitioning. That was 6 years ago. So, 6 years ago today, I didn't know it was going to be the last day that I spent with her. But if I would have known, would I've done anything different? Probably not. I mean, we had a great day. It seems like every year at this time, that morning when she left plays over in my head, like every little detail. And every year I see the same events of that morning, kind of like they were happening again. I mean, it's that embedded in my memory, but they feel totally different every single year. Because the first few years, I couldn't recall that morning without bursting into tears and feeling such an emptiness inside. Much healing has taken place since then. A lot of, healing of the grief, healing of the sadness, healing of the pain of loss. And now when I think about it, I'm realizing more and more what a joyous occasion that was for her. She was sad she had to leave her loved ones on earth because, she loved them all. But she was going home. She was going home to be with all those people that she loved that went before her. Home to be with Source. Home to be the free and gentle spirit that she was. Hello, Devin. Hello, Ward. Nice to see you all here tonight. Now, being in the room with her when this happened and holding her hand, that's where, she was surrounded by her family. And we were all there with her when her spirit left her body. And that's something I will never, ever, ever forget. She was laying in a bed and you could see it like this invisible wave that kind of washed over her, starting at her head and moving down to her feet. And as it did, every inch it passed through her body, her coloring changed. You could just see the life like leave her body. And then there was just a lifeless human body that remained there. You could feel that she was gone, that she wasn't there anymore because that body wasn't her. Later that day or the next day, we had to go to the funeral home and, make arrangements and stuff. So we stopped for lunch afterwards because nobody was really in the mood to cook. And my granddaughter, Hannah, was about 2 at the time. She was very close to her great grandma. She would see her every single day. And my mom would play with her and sing with her. And while we were all standing outside of the restaurant getting ready to leave, she pointed a little bit above everyone's head and said, Gigi, Gigi. And that's what they called their great grandma, all the great grandkids. So it was very clear to me that Hannah saw her. She was there with us, just watching over us, observing. And although the enormous grief and shock were there for all of us, it was comforting to know that she was still around. When somebody goes quickly or after a long illness, the moment, and it happens in a moment, that they actually leave, and you know that you are not going to see them again on this earth, it's an indescribably shocking feeling. Hello, Veronica. And it forces you to come to terms with your own existence. Your body is like clothing. When it gets damaged or worn out or is no longer repairable, you get rid of it. But that body is not you. That's not who we are. It is the vessel that houses us. The real you, your soul, your spirit, your energy. That is what is housed in the vessel of your human body. That is why you'll always hear, we are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And that soul, that spirit, that energy will never cease to exist. You merely leave your body behind and travel on to the next part of your journey, because that's what it is. It's the next part of our journey. Hello, Sarah. Now, it sounds easy enough, right? The hard part is what you are leaving behind, because we as humans, we think of it differently, you know. But you know what? All that love that we have, we take it with us. We take that love with us. It is ours for all of eternity. And the love that we shared here stays in the hearts of those people that we loved, the people that we left behind. And that is what will eventually help them to heal from losing us. Remembering that love and feeling that love. Um, and, you know, it can be really scary to think that one day this world is going to go on without us. Nothing will change, yet everything will change. And it will be in the blink of an eye, literally in the blink of an eye. The important thing is what we do with the time that we do have while we are here. So think about what kind of a legacy you want to leave. Leave a legacy of love, a legacy of kindness. What do you want people to remember about you? Do you want people to remember, oh, yeah, I remember her. She was like that grumpy old lady that lived down the street. No, you want to be remembered for who you truly are, your authentic self. And that is love, and that is light, and that is kindness. So do what you can now. Live in the moment. Open your heart to love. Don't restrict it. Don't put conditions on it, but just open it and let the love flow in and let the love flow out. And remember your purpose. You came here for a specific reason, a specific purpose. Remember that and live in that purpose with your passion. With your passion, because your passion are those gifts that you brought with you to help you fulfill your purpose. And find your truth. Find what is true for you. Get rid of all those layers of crap that other people have put on you that is not who you are at all. Get rid of it all so that you can speak your truth, so that you can live in your truth, and so that you can leave behind a better world than what you were born into. Now, it's not easy for us to let go of the people that we love. We may not have them here in the physical form, but their spirit is always with us. They are always around us. They still love us. That love will never die, will never go away, and they still comfort us. So when you are really missing someone, think about a really wonderful memory that you had with them and really visualize it and put yourself there, and you will feel them. You will feel their energy. Or when you're sad, your loved ones are around to comfort you. Maybe they put their arms around you and you can feel a little squeeze or a little hug. But what we need to do is we need to get real with ourselves about our feelings and beliefs, about what society calls death. Because remember, death does not exist. We are energy. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. Know that our spirit, our energy, our soul continues on. Just look at nature. In the wintertime, the flowers lose their leaves, the buds, the tree, the grass kind of dies off. But in the spring, it comes back to life, doesn't it? So maybe, when it is your time to transition, maybe you contracted to go directly back to source. Or maybe you contracted to be recycled and come back in another form. Just come to terms with how you feel about it. Because the way I felt about losing a loved one when I was maybe a teenager is completely different than how I feel about it now. Because my beliefs have changed. So come to terms with how you feel about it. There's no right or wrong answer. How you feel is what is right for you. And how you perceive it is how you perceive it. And there's no right or wrong to that. It's from you because you're going to have those feelings and those ideals and those thoughts based on the perspective of where you are now and what you have experienced so far in your life. And as you heal and grow and you expand from that, that perspective is going to change as well. Just see it as the next step in your never ending journey, because that's what it is. That's just what we're going to go and do next. And I would imagine, from different people I've talked to who have had near-death experiences. I mean, Susan Redwine was on my show a couple of years ago, I believe, and she had a near-death experience, and just the beauty and the awe of everything that she experienced. It totally took away her fear of leaving this earth. Ooh. So come to terms with how you feel about it. And, when your children are ready, talk to them about it. You want them to have healthy feelings, about their loved ones transitioning, because that can be a real shock to children because they don't understand. And if your children have questions, please help them with those. Help them answer those questions. Otherwise, they're going to be where we are right now, trying to get rid of all this crap that we've been carrying around for years that wasn't ours to begin with. And we don't want that for our children. We don't want that for our future generations. So we have to, come to terms with things for ourselves. So Sarah said that she's gotten chills many times as I was talking. Ooh, nice. I like that, Sarah. That means it's resonating with you. Now, my mom, for those of you that don't know, my mom and I were really close, and I took care of my mom for many years because she had a lot of health issues. And she had a dog, Molly, who was a Lhasa Apso. And then I had my dog, Maggie, who is a Shih Tzu. And they got along really great. Well, after my mom passed, then I had both of the dogs. So about a year and a half after my mom made her transition, one morning, Molly just seemed really lethargic, like she didn't really want to do anything. I noticed that when she tried to eat, she would go outside and vomit. And then I noticed she wasn't holding water down either. So as I had taken her outside, all of a sudden she just flopped on her side and had a stroke. Not a stroke, a seizure. And it was very freaky. I'd never seen anything like that before. And she hit her head on the concrete really hard. And then her body flopped over on the other side and the same thing. So by this time I was getting pretty upset. So I called the vet, and it was in the evening. And they said that they could see her first thing in the morning. So I took her. Now this dog was maybe 12 years old. She was a great companion, and she got my mom through a lot of hard times after she lost my dad. And so she was an amazing dog. And that night, I had to carry her up the stairs to go to bed. I had to carry her outside. She didn't even want to walk. And it was kind of like she just gave up on everything. So I took her to the vet the next morning, and they ran some tests, and she had end stage. Her kidneys were shutting down, and it was really bad. And they said she was in a tremendous amount of pain. And after they ran all their numbers with their tests, looking at different levels of different things, the vet comes in and he said, "Are you ready to let her go?" And at first it didn't really click what he was saying. And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he said that she, I guess this had gone unnoticed. Dog never acted like anything was wrong until the night before. Acted completely normal, ate, drank. But I guess this has been something that was going on with her for a while. And it was so far gone, there wasn't anything they could do for her. So they suggested that, that I let her go. So there I am at the vet all by myself. So here's a real funny thing though. When we got to the vet, the dog that wouldn't even walk from room to room jumped out of my car and literally ran to the front of the vet's building. Like, I think she knew. I think she wanted to go because she was real excited. And so they took me into this room when I had decided that's what I was going to do. I could not stand to see her suffer. And they took me in this room and I was holding her, and they said, spend as much time in there as you want, before we actually administer the injection. I said, okay. And they kept coming back, are you ready yet? No. Are you ready yet? No. And it was so hard. And I think part of what was so hard too was that it was my mom's dog. And I knew how much my mom loved this dog. And so they came in. Finally, I was ready. And she was just laying across my lap, still as could be. And I'm just like bawling my head off. And then they inject her, and then her lifeless, limp body is just laying there. And it was really, really hard. It was really hard to do, really hard to deal with. But I couldn't stand the thoughts of her going by herself. I was there comforting her, loving on her, talking to her as she just kind of quietly went to sleep. And then when I left, I got in the car, and I don't know, I don't think anyone was around that could have heard me. The windows were up, but I was screaming, and I was hysterically crying, and I sat there for probably 20 or 30 minutes. I think it was some of that grief, from my mom as well that I had hung on to, but it was such an ordeal for me. And I know that, you don't want your pets to live in pain. That's no way for anyone to live. But that was quite a growth experience for myself as well. It really was. Now, I thought many times how I'm really glad that it didn't happen until after my mom passed, because she would not have been able to deal with that very well at all. She was so attached to that dog. She had her since she was like 6 or 8 weeks old. And it was just a few months after my dad passed. And she purposely got Molly so that she would have a companion all the time. And Molly was always, laying on her or loving on her. She followed her everywhere she went, kind of like Maggie does me. And it was just such a profound experience. But I know that they're together, and she's as happy as can be. She can run around and play now. She's got lots of energy, probably as much as a puppy. But I just kind of wanted to share that experience with you guys. And I have some new cards that I would like to share with you, and they are called Soul Truth. And these cards are pretty cool. They're all about self-awareness. It says Soul Truth taps into your inner wisdom and gives you pure spiritual guidance to unleash your potential and courageously live your soul's sacred purpose. I had to actually type that out because the printing on the box, not with these eyes, too small. But let me go here and check out some messages first before I start giving messages. See what you guys have to say. Yes, Robert, I put you down on the list. You're the first one. And nice. Okay. Where are we at? Nancy. I know I saw a couple messages here that I didn't want to miss. Ward says, I keep having visions about myself in a dimension looking like Earth, but different buildings. When you say different buildings, do you mean different buildings than like what we have now? Is that what you mean? Tiffany said, that's interesting. Are you looking at the new Earth? That's a really great thought there. Yes, Destiny, I'm going to put you down on my list. One thing I have learned on this show is when people want a message, I jot down your name because it's too easy to overlook someone. I don't want to do that. Feels more like me in other times. Wow, that is amazing, Ward. In other times. That is pretty cool. It's kind of, I think there's a show. I saw my daughter-in-law watching it. I forget what it's called, where this woman finds some kind of portal or something, and she goes back and forth between two different times. It looked kind of interesting. Veronica says, yes, my cat did the same thing when we took her to the vet. She was bright and affectionate. I just knew she was grateful we were letting her transition. Yeah, they act like it's so easy, right? They're all excited because they know they're going to be in a better place. Sarah said, that's definitely one of the hardest decisions to make is putting our fur babies to sleep. After 17 years, I had to put my cat down. Yes, that is a terrible decision to make. Right before it was time for the vet to inject him, he hopped up like he normally did. So I immediately questioned myself if I was doing the right thing. Phew, that was tough. I know. When I got her out of the car and she ran to the vet, I thought, oh, wow, maybe she's not as sick as I thought she was. But no, she was. Okay. So these soul truth cards, they kind of have, most of them have a question. I think there's a couple that just have like a little statement, but most of them have a question to help you dig deep within. You don't have to share your answer, but it is something for you to really start thinking about. Hello, Justice for All. Had a strange day at work. Will I get a breakthrough and a better situation real soon? Well, we'll find out. Robert. Let's see what we have for Robert. Okay, Robert. It says, am I apologizing for my truth? Is there a part of you that is? Be proud of your truth. Stand in your truth. And don't worry about what anybody else thinks about it. Never apologize for being your true, authentic self. Don't hold back any of your truth. Don't be hesitant or afraid to share that with everyone because that's the truth of who you are. And it's really, really important. And, when you stand in your truth, even if that's not, the popular truth or the truth of the people that are around you, it gives other people permission to speak their truth, right? Because there's people standing there thinking, well, I really should say this or I really should say that, but they're afraid. So when you step up and speak your truth, you're letting them know it's okay. And they're going to follow suit. Might not be at that exact moment, but it gives them a lot to think about. So think about, are you apologizing for your truth? Or are you standing strong in your truth? And it's important to do that at all times because your truth is who you are. And your energized card is take time to relax and rest. And Robert, that is a message from Gala Akashana. And it's important for us to take that time to rest and to relax because that's when we replenish ourselves. We replenish our energy. And that is important because we can't give from an empty cup, right? So we have to fill ourselves up first. Not what most of us were taught growing up. You do for everybody else first, and then if you got anything left over, okay, I guess you could do for yourself. But don't border on being selfish. But that's not true. That's not the truth. That's not our truth. We have to fill ourselves up first with love, with everything that we want to give to someone else. Because what happens if you don't? You get resentful towards those people. You lack energy. You get cranky. And eventually it starts affecting every part of your being. So you want to make sure that you are getting the appropriate rest, get out in nature, eat healthy, take good care of yourself, build yourself up the best and the strongest that you possibly can. Okay, Destiny. I got you down, Veronica. And if anybody else would like a message, please put it in the comments. Let's see what we have for Destiny. It says, what expectations do I have that are impossible to meet? Now, my feeling on that is nothing is impossible. We can do everything. But our mind, a lot of times, will limit what we can do. We'll get this idea in our head that, oh, I can't do that. That's impossible. Oh, I could never achieve that. That's impossible. So you have to change your thoughts. You change your thoughts on how you look at that. So look at your life and see, do you have any areas where you feel like you have unrealistic expectations of yourself or someone else? Because know that we can achieve and accomplish everything that we want to. And a lot of things we can start to do through manifesting and drawing those things to us. And let me get a energized card for you. Justice for All. Says, tomorrow will be 12 years since my mom transitioned. Why have things been so hard on myself and my household? Any messages? Her name was Lola. Well, first, I will say that I am not a medium, but I will see what kind of message we get for you. So I will ask you this. Have you healed from the loss of your mom? You know, it's the grief. Healing from grief and loss is so different for each of us. It's a very individual experience because some people, you know, can accomplish that very quickly. For me, it was like 3 years. For 3 years, I grieved. And finally, I came to terms with it. You know, it could be a really monumental loss when the person is part of your, you know, your everyday routine. It can be a monumental loss when you're not even close with the person because you've had an estranged relationship. So there is no timetable on grieving. So just keep that in mind. That's important to remember because I was kind of hard on myself for a while thinking, oh my goodness, why am I not past this already? But it takes the time that it takes. Veronica, who am I comparing myself? To whom am I comparing myself right now? We don't need to compare ourselves with anyone because we're not in competition with anyone, right? We're all on our own individual journey. All you need is you. Just strive to be a better person today than you were yesterday. There's no competition. But if you are comparing yourself with someone else, reflect on that a little bit. Because when we do that, it makes us feel like we are not in the place that we should be. If we compare ourselves to someone else, you know, we might say, well, okay, why don't I have the kind of freedom that they have? Why don't I have this or that they have? And then it makes you not happy with yourself anymore. So try not to do that. Don't compare yourself with anyone. You know, you're on this amazing healing journey, Veronica, and you've been rebuilding so much in your life. And, you know, that is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. So keep doing that hard work. But know that you are not in competition with anyone. You are the only one that is on the unique path that you are on. So I hope that resonates with you, Veronica. And I don't remember, I don't think, let's see, okay. Nancy. Sure, Nancy. Oh, Robert, you are so welcome. Have a great night at work. And Justice for All said no, because she left everything upside down and inside out. Let me tell you, I had a few situations like that myself with things that happened after my mom passed. One was something that we didn't see coming. It was a major event in our family, and it was something that I had to deal with because my mom wasn't around. There was another situation that she had created that I got all the fallout from after she was gone. So I can kind of understand that. And at first when these things happened, I was kind of ticked off, thinking, why is this up to me? Why am I the one that is, this stuff is falling on? And I wasn't very happy about it. But I was able to treat those situations with kindness and compassion and without anger. And after a while, I kind of understood the one situation that she created before she left. I know why that happened. I know why she did the things she did. But that really doesn't necessarily make it any easier on us. So I just got through that the best I could and just forgave her for dropping that on me. Okay, I was at, Veronica. I did Veronica. You are welcome, Veronica. Nancy. All right, I just kept shuffling away for you, Nancy. Let's see who wants to pop out for you. On whom am I placing blame right now? And it's so funny because when things happen in our lives, sometimes we can't just look at it and say, okay, this happened. What can I learn from this? Where's the lesson in this? But sometimes we have to blame someone or something for why it happened. But we don't have to do that. Now, if you're totally blaming yourself for something that happened, then you're at the beginning stages of seeing the lesson in that situation. But if you can see past the blame, then you're going to see that lesson very clearly. So, free yourself from any feelings of feeling like a victim, blaming yourself. Free yourselves from all of that. If you listen to your heart and make all of your decisions through your heart, you're going to be led and guided in the direction where you need to be. I hope that makes sense to you, Nancy. Okay. So, if anybody else would like a message, please let me know. Okay, Justice for All. Yours is next. Let's see what we have for you. And it says, how can I deepen my trust right now? Let go. Let go of anything that's keeping you from trusting. Know that you can trust yourself. Know that you can trust your spiritual team, your spiritual family. What you have to do is surrender. You're just standing in your own way. Get out of your way. Get out of your own way. Because right now I feel like you are your biggest obstacle. So trust in yourself, trust in the decisions you make. And again, make those through your heart chakra, through your heart. Feel them through your heart. See them through the eyes of love as you are making those decisions, and you will always make the right decision for you. I feel like you're, like I said, like you're standing in your own way to keep yourself from moving forward. Fear can be very paralyzing, right? Now, I just had a flash of like a horror movie, when they're like terrified and they kind of freeze. They don't move forward. They don't go anywhere. They just it's kind of like they're paralyzed. We can paralyze ourselves like that with fear. And it kind of keeps us stuck in one place and we're not able to move forward. So let go of that. And it will, once you let go of that, you will be able to trust yourself more. Trust your intuition. Trust the messages that come to you. Trust that gut instinct that you have. And pay more attention to everything going on around you, because they're sending you information. They're sending messages. They're trying to help guide you. And you can also, call on the angels, call on your spiritual team. That's what they're there for. Help them to help you build your trust more. Because they will definitely guide you in that direction. Nancy says, I used to blame myself more than others. I hope I have gotten beyond that point. Well, it sounds like you have been. Hello, Sam. And that means that you are moving more into the, what am I supposed to learn here, Nancy? So that's awesome. Fear, not good enough, and self-love. Those are the big ones. Yes, Sam, I agree. We were never taught how to love ourselves. Not when we were children and that. Let's see what we have for Ward. And anyone else that would like a message, please put it in the chat so I can see. Otherwise, I'm not going to know. Okay. Okay, Ward, the card I got for you says, from whom can I release my judgment right now? From whom can I release my judgment? When we have judgment about someone, ourselves, or something, because it could be like judgment about a situation, it closes our heart to the truth. And it separates us from love. So we don't want to do that, because we always want to keep that heart open and letting the love flow in and out, in and out. So anything that you may be feeling like that towards, work through it. Try to come to terms with why you're feeling that way, because that's really going to help you grow. Know that you are limitless and know your own truth so that you can live in that truth. And I know sometimes we're so hard on ourselves. We think we have to be this or we have to be that. And we don't live up to our own expectations. We're very judgmental of ourselves, because we see other people doing things that we think we should be able to do. But remember, we're not in competition with anyone. Only ourselves. Sam. Sam would love a message. See what we have for you, Sam. Oh, I want to turn them over so I don't look at them. Okay. How can I surrender even more in this moment? And you know, when I used to see that word surrender, I did never like that word. To me, that word felt like you're wanting to take away my power. You want me to give my power to something else, but it's not. Surrendering is just getting out of your own way. And we stand in our own way a lot. We can talk ourselves into or out of doing anything. Our mind is so powerful, so powerful. Hello, Diane. Nice to see you. So know that you are not alone, Sam. Know that you are not alone. Just get out of your own way and accept that you can't accept the things that you cannot change. Accept them and release the outcome. Release the outcome. Because when you release the outcome, first of all, you're going to be living in the moment. You're not worried about what is going to happen. So just get out of your own way right now in this moment and stay in the moment and live in the moment. And remember, don't let yourself be an obstacle to all the good that is coming your way. Okay. And, oh, thank you, Sarah, so much for your super sticker. I appreciate that very, very much. And let me get a message for you. Okay. Oh, this is a great card. If I had a magic wand and could have anything I desired in life, what would I choose? And when I first got these cards, I always cleansed my cards, and I went through and I read them all. And I thought this was such a cool card. And my first thought when I saw this card was, you do have a magic wand. Manifesting, right? Because you can manifest anything you desire into your life. But what is the most important thing that you would want? Focus on that, Sarah. Focus on that. Because this is the best time to plant those seeds that you're going to be harvesting, like within the next month. It is such a powerful time. Oh, Sarah. Sarah said, I wanted to share the love. Well, thank you so much, Sarah. I really appreciate that. So I love that. If you had a magic wand. But we have that in our own spiritual toolbox, right? Because we can make things happen like that. And Sarah, I got an energized card for you, and it happens to be one of mine, which is pretty cool. When you bless others, you bless yourself. And that is so true. You know that wonderful feeling that you get when you do something for someone else. It just fulfills something in you. Sarah says, I love that card. Awesome. And it really does. So blessing others also blesses you. Okay, I'm going to pull a card for Diane because that was the last name I noticed. And your card, Diane, it says, am I getting enough rest to restore my energy and fully show up to my life? So you're going to have to ask yourself that. I feel like you need a little bit more rest. I feel like when you try to relax, that your mind kind of wanders everywhere, very rapidly, that you have a lot of thoughts at one time going on. So try to calm that down a little bit. But really notice how your body is reacting when you don't get enough rest. It drains your energy. And your body is your vehicle, right? That's how we transport our soul, our spirit, our energy around. So we have to take really, really good care of that vessel. So when you are starting to feel tired, notice what it's doing to your body. How does your body feel? Like, how does it change? Some people will feel weak. Some people can even feel shaky when they're really lacking sleep. So maybe take a bath, maybe even a bubble bath or something with some wonderful lavender oil or lavender bath salt or something. And maybe go to bed a little earlier a couple nights a week if you can. Give yourself a timeout. That's so funny because my granddaughter was misbehaving one day. She's 6, and she got a little snippy with me, and I put her in timeout. And she snapped back at me and said, "You're going to timeout." I wish, right? I wish. Give me a timeout. And I'll take, they say 1 minute for every year that they are old. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'll take all those minutes for a timeout. Sure. That would be a wonderful break. But kids don't see it that way. Sarah said, that's great validation because I've been thinking and feeling that. Thank you, bunches. Loving the new cards. Such great messages on them. Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. Let's see. We got time for a couple more. Okay, I did those. Let's see. Trying to remember who else was here that commented. Nancy, I got Veronica. Melissa. I will pull a card. Oh, there's new comments. And then I will pull one for Melissa. Nap time for timeout. Yeah. Isn't that? When we were kids, we never liked to take a nap. But now that we're adults, it sounds wonderful. Melissa, what do I resist feeling right now? Is there something that maybe you don't want to acknowledge or don't want to feel that's kind of nagging at you? Just allow yourself, because these things come in waves. So just let it move through you and be gone. Just feel it and heal it and let it go. If we all do that as quickly as we can, we don't have all this old stuff built up that we need to heal and purge. And this is a great time for purging, right? Spring, new beginnings. And let's see I'll pull one here for Tiffany. Spring has always been my favorite season of the year because I always loved how the flowers, start blooming and all that. It's a beautiful time of the year. Diane says, so true, Ruth. Really struggling with big decisions at work. Stress with everything is overwhelming. You need to de-stress. Maybe try meditating. It can really help. Or just listening to some music that really resonates with your soul. But whatever decisions you need to make, I don't know if you heard this earlier in the show, but make those decisions through your heart. Really feel it. And imagine, how your life would be with decision number 1. But feel it. See yourself in that situation of that decision or the result of that decision, and really feel what that would be like for you. And then do it with the same thing, feel through the other decision. Your heart will tell you which way to go. It will know. Tiffany, I love your card. When was the last time I danced freely? And when I saw that card, it made me think of all the times, and I've done this with, I think, every single one of my grandkids, dancing in the kitchen when we're cooking. They'd like to come in there and help Grandma cook. So I put music on and we would just dance around the kitchen and they would just have a blast. So when was the last time that you just kind of freely danced around the house, Tiffany? It's such it's great to move our bodies for one, but it has such great energy with it. It's such uplifting energy. And people, you don't have to be good at dancing. It's just for fun, for enjoyment. We forget how to have fun. We always think we have to be so serious and so perfect and do things just so now that we're grown-ups. But no, we need to have fun. Have fun like we did when we were a child. Bring out that inner joy. We all need that, especially those who have stressful lives or lives where they don't have a lot of extra time. We need that even more. Oh, good. Tiffany loves that message. Awesome. She says she always has music on. The fairies get me dance and play with the dogs. Oh, I love that. That is awesome. Well, last week I noticed this, and now I noticed it again tonight, that the hour has gone by so fast. Like, I can't even believe it's already done. But I want to thank you all so much for being here. I've really enjoyed our time together. Thank you so much for sharing this with me. And, I hope you guys will come back next week. I love you all. Have a great, great week. Good night.
Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show.